Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering Below Deck, Season 8, Episode 6, Just Another Day in Paradise. You guys, this wasn't the most exciting episode, but I really enjoyed it. I am so enjoying Rachel and her cooking, and I want to eat everything she makes. It looks delicious, and I thought it was just fun to watch, so let's get into it. Hey guys, I just want to take a second and say if you're enjoying this show, please check out my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Real Housewives Recaps, or check the comments below and I'll put a link. And for $1 a week, you can support my show and get 4 bonus episodes per month. I'm covering Scary Island, like the greatest season of Real Housewives of New York. So check it out. Thanks so much. So yeah, I can't criticize. I actually think I enjoy this show because it's just different from the Housewives. I do want some drama, and there was a little bit with Shane and with Rachel at the beginning, but overall, it wasn't the most drama-filled episode, but I just enjoy this show. I really do. Okay, so poor Rachel is freaking out. She's looking for her Petrosian caviar, but she found that this salmon roe was wrapped up and looked like caviar, but it's not it. She explains it's €800 for a small tin. Have you guys ever tried this? I haven't tried it. I'm just curious if it's any good. Is it worth that money? She says, I'm going to lose my effing S. Anyway, guests are asking to see parts of the boat they wouldn't normally see, which is kind of a weird request, but okay. Shane is saying he was underprepared. He explains he went to Berkeley. He got a 3.5 GPA. Okay, Shane, cool. All I could think of, and I think some of you guys have said it, is the Lori Loughlin stuff. Like, okay, Shane, how'd you get into that school? Let's see. Francesca is happy with Aisling. She said she's got her head down. She's doing what she needs to do. But Elizabeth, not so much. She pages Elizabeth to see what she's up to. Elizabeth is working. Again, we talked about it before. We talked about it last week. My problem with Francesca is her communication sucks. So, it's easy to compliment Aisling. There's something about Elizabeth that bothers Francesca. And instead of communicating what it is, she's kind of, I don't know if passive-aggressive is the right word, but she's doing a worse job communicating with Elizabeth than anybody else, I think. Now, later, she does straight up tell Elizabeth, hey, check on the guests every 10 minutes. Elizabeth says she didn't hear it. I still blame Francesca. That's just because Francesca bugs me a little bit. But, okay, so we see that the captain is trying to stall the guests. He was told by Francesca, please stall them so Eddie can get back with the caviar. And because the provisioner was able to find this fancy caviar, Eddie's got to go pick it up. We know the story. Okay. Finally, by the way, Lee says, I'm buying time until caviar shows up. I'm sitting here with my D in my hand. Whoa, that's kind of a weird analogy. Okay, so finally the caviar shows up. They run the caviar up. Rachel is freaking out. She's saving a little caviar to put with the lobster, and it was a motion shot, so it's kind of blurry, but you see here, she dropped the caviar. Luckily, she had already dished most of it, so thank goodness for that, but she dropped the caviar, so she's like, oh, shit. Poor Rachel. I just want to give her a hug. She's just having, a bad day. She still cooks amazing food. We've seen other chefs in the past when they're having bad days, it gets to them, understandably so. It gets in their head, and so it affects their cooking. But Rachel knocked it out of the park. And we see the captain pay a huge compliment later about that. So, let's see. They get it served. She's serving this beautiful food. Remember, it's Tim, the primary's 50th birthday. They're having a white party. Let's see. So Rachel's serving. She's telling them about the food. Everybody's just wholly impressed with this food. She served this burrata here with this little injector of flavor. It just looked delicious. I want to eat it so bad. Okay, so all the food's going out. She ends up making him a cake for his birthday. She made a carrot cake. They even raved over that. They all cheer for her. It's just cool to see. Well, then this guest gets out these, what's the word, crafts? Wine servers. And he's explaining that they do this thing to longevity and prosperity. The longer you drink, that goes to your longevity. The farther away it is, that goes to your prosperity. My question is, why the hell would you do this on white night? White outfit night. You're getting red wine all over the place. I felt so bad for Eddie later when he has to clean up the teak. Everybody's getting red wine all over their face, their white clothes. It's just crazy. Captain is made to wear this t-shirt. He's a pretty good sport about it. He does the drinking thing too. They're all drinking and getting red wine absolutely everywhere. Guests are getting more wasted, but they're having fun. I don't mind this group so much. They seem pretty chill and pretty fun, and they see, it's fine. So Captain's into it. He's being a good sport. We see Shane. We find out he has a girlfriend. He's been FaceTiming her. Falls asleep during the FaceTime. Set up for disaster to come. We go from the guests over to Aisling. We see her FaceTiming her, or calling her mom, who's starting to warn her about coronavirus. And she said it was a thing when she left, but she didn't know how bad it had gotten, and her mom's encouraging her to go get a mask. Sad to see, scary stuff. Okay, so after dinner, Rachel's a rock star, everybody loves her. The deck crew is having to clean each of these crazy wine spots off of the teak. Apparently there's a special spray to get that out. This is where we see that Francesca had told Elizabeth, hey, you need to check on them every 10 minutes. Well, Elizabeth is shooting the shit with Izzy. They're just talking about stuff, and these guests are like, hello, we need some service. So they go looking for her. They find her. Of course, she's with Francesca, and we find out it's been 42 minutes since she checked on them. The guests say they're dying, and Francesca gets pissed. And I understand, for once, why Francesca got pissed. She gave instruction. Elizabeth didn't hear it, but I guess more to the point, she didn't follow it, and so Francesca's upset. Now, I still blame Francesca for shitty communication, but I think this was an honest mistake. But, okay. So, let's see here. Elizabeth said that she thought Fran was with them. She didn't hear, about checking on him. So she's upset because her night ends like this. Francesca's upset because she feels like Elizabeth's just not doing a great job. I think it's both of them. I mean, we do see Elizabeth. I don't know if she has the drive, the speed that the others seem to have, but I don't think she's doing anything intentionally or maliciously. Wow. I promise I've not been drinking. Okay. So it's the next day, and this is where shit hits the fan. Shane oversleeps. Eddie wakes up and says, Shane, it's 7:37. Why are you still in bed? Shane apparently overslept. He's an hour and 40 minutes late for his shift. We find out his phone died. Izzy covered for him. Eddie goes to talk to the captain. He talks about all the crap that Shane has done, from taking a nap in the middle of the day to leaving that door open to today's oversleeping incident. We find out Izzy is just an absolute rock star outside. She's been doing all kinds of stuff this morning, working her tail off until Shane got out there. Shane tells Eddie that he messed up, and Eddie is just over him. He doesn't even want to hear it. So then it's time for breakfast. Liz, the girls are working on breakfast service. Liz, it's her time to get up. She greets everybody, but she says she's feeling like she just can't do anything right. And that's a crappy feeling. That I blame Francesca for that part. I mean, she is messing up, but I think she's a nice person. You work with what you have. I mean, just Francesca's not communicating with her. Pull her aside and tell her what's frustrating her. Tell her to move faster, be more organized, whatever it is. Just talk to her. Okay, so we see Eddie. He's out, and the deal is they're dropping the fenders. And they're supposed to do it in the specific order. We've seen it before where they drop them one after the other. Well, Shane F's up. Big shocker here. I don't hate Shane. Shane's just clueless. Eddie's frustrated with him, so he's not communicating well either. But even when he does, Shane is clueless, off in his own little world. I think it's kind of dangerous to have somebody like that working on a very big boat like this. But, okay, so the captain's pissed because of the fender thing, and then he gets more pissed because the lines, when they're docking, they aren't right. They're low, they're loose, and they move slow when they were putting them out. During this docking, the thruster wasn't working, so the captain's freaking out a little bit. So he said, the captain's just like, this is not going to happen again, and whoever the F put those lines out there, A is mine. So he's mad. The guests are super happy. They seem really happy with everything. They compliment the service. They compliment the food. They hand over a big wad of cash. Yay. The captain dismisses all the crew except for the deck crew. So you know how that goes. They go over the lines. They talk about what's gone wrong. He's pissed off. He doesn't want to repeat of what happened today. So I do see that Shane's trying. I mean, he still doesn't belong in this boat, but he's trying. I think we see him writing it down in his journal here. He's taking notes. He's trying to study. Eddie's pissed. He's saying he wanted Shane out on deck a certain time. He's got like 2 minutes to get out there. We find out his watch is a little bit slow. Poor Shane. I mean, his watch is representative of himself. The captain pages everybody. They go for a crew meeting. And I thought this was pretty fantastic. The captain compliments the chef. Not only compliments her, but really compliments her like she's the greatest chef he's had on a boat. I think that's fantastic. I was really happy to see that. He does say some people are giving him cause for concern. They get a $20,000 tip, which is pretty good. It's $1,650 a person. Then we see everybody go back and get ready. They're turning the boat over. They're getting ready for the next set of charter guests. Captain pages Eddie. And they go talk in the wheelhouse. Eddie is saying, you know, we've given Shane a lot of chances. Having him gone, this is what the captains say, having him gone is like having him here. There's no difference. And then we see the captain page Shane. And that's pretty much how the episode leaves off. Some of you guys were asking me if I think he'll be let go. It's hard to say. I do feel like sometimes the captain, I mean, he usually lets people like this go. If they're in a bind and they can't get somebody, they might just like really work him hard and give him this one last chance. So we'll see what happens there. He may be gone. I'm good either way. So then we see on the next episode, Aisling is saying she feels dizzy. We have this guy come in and say, yeah, that's because somebody was mixing bleach and soap, and that's what they used in World War II as mustard gas. So we assume that it's Elizabeth because we do see Francesca going to the captain saying, that's it. So I feel like Elizabeth messed up, and this will be the way Fran tries to get her out. We see Elizabeth and James flirting and then possibly go hook up. Really want to see what happens there. And then something's up with the next set of charter guests. Rachel calls them disgusting and despicable, and I really want to know what is on that preference sheet. What is she talking about? So that's it for the episode. Again, it wasn't the most exciting, but I still enjoyed it. I really did. I like this show a lot. I have fun with it. I'm enjoying the season. I think, I know a lot of you guys were saying that Eddie's a creep. Eddie doesn't really bother me. His management style kind of sucks sometimes, but he doesn't bother me. But Rachel makes the season for me so far. I hope that nothing happens and she leaves because I'm enjoying having her around. But we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I got some more Flight Attendant coming out soon. I've been trying to work on that. It's going slow, but it's coming, so stick with me there. I got all kinds of stuff coming out. So check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my Patreon if you want to support the show. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Take care. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.